Hi, I'm Brittany Pacheco.
Hi, and I'm a Raven lunatic. For our non-audio people, my t-shirt is a shirt that has ravens on it and it says I'm a Raven lunatic. So just wanted to be funny. But I'm
She's bad.
Amber.
She's also Bad Wolf in some pods. So yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna also kind of reference that in today's pod. We are the Watchers in the Basement. Welcome to our channel, and welcome back if you've been a long time follower of ours, and welcome to those who are new. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. All you got to do is just click that little button down below that says subscribe. We're on the road to 500. Help us get to that goal. Today, this Wednesday, I am joined by the lovely Amber of All of Amber's Wands to discuss Netflix Wednesday. That's right. That is the TV series following Wednesday Addams of the Addams Family. She is back, y'all. She is back at Nevermore Academy for season 2, and we are going to be talking about the first 4 episodes of season 2. I'm very excited because it's been 3 years since we last saw our beloved little dark cloud of doom. Amber, I mean, can you believe it's been 3 years since we've actually talked about Wednesday?
No, because that was my second topic that I ever did on this podcast with you. We started with Handmaid's Tale, then
Yep.
I joined you guys for the first season of Wednesday, and I think after that it was Enola Holmes. But um
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
it was the second ever thing that we did. So I can't believe that I've been a guest on here for 3 years.
We are approaching that anniversary, and we are all the better because you have joined us to bring such light to our pod. We're so grateful. Shout out to King B. Johnson, who is in today's live chat. He says, hashtag Whoa Wednesday, the Watchers in the Basement. Burton Versell. Thank you for joining us, King B. We always appreciate you being here. And I gotta say, I have a little bit of mixed feelings about this season thus far. But before we get into it, I'm going to take a page out of our host Justin's book, who could not join us today because, he hasn't watched Wednesday ever. Like, what?
How
uh,
dare?
how
How
dare
dare?
the rudeness. Anyway, just to give you some quick facts about Wednesday. It is an 8-episode television series from Netflix that stars Jenna Ortega, Steve Buscemi, who's new to the show this season, Emma Myers, Joy Sunday, Hunter Doohan, Moosa, Mostafa, Isaac Ordonez, Billie Piper. We'll talk about her shortly. Louise Guzman and the wonderful Catherine Zeta-Jones. This season, we are actually in a different filming location. Instead of being in Romania like season 1, we are actually now in Ireland, which looks really cool, really, really fun. I would love to go to Ireland. Amber, let's just get a plane ticket and go. Like, let's go.
Not. Let's do it.
I know
I'm
Amber's
sure we
very
can find some kelpies and wander around. We'll have fun. We'll have a good time.
Let's try to avoid some zombies though. Let's just,
Yeah.
just saying, let's avoid some zombies.
Don't vibe
So
with them.
right. So this time, and I can't remember if it was the same thing for season 1. Amber, I think you hopefully will remember if the model of breaking up the episodes into 2 parts was the same. Did we have that for season 1? I don't think so. I felt like it dropped everything. And
They did.
this time Netflix decided to go with their current model of dropping a show or a season into 2 parts. So
Yeah.
we will be discussing episodes 1 through 4. And then come September, we will be discussing part 2, which will be episodes 5 through 8. These episodes that we're going to talk about dropped last Wednesday. That was done on purpose, y'all, obviously, on August 6th. Amber, what are your overall thoughts so far on season 2?
Um, we spoke about this a little off screen, but I find this season to be a little lackluster compared to season 1. And I don't really I don't know, something feels off. I feel like it's a little too like there's a like we'll probably talk about, I don't remember, I think it was episode 2 or such, but there was an outfit that Wednesday's wearing that it kind of felt more just like that was just Jenna Ortega's outfit, not Wednesday. Like there's certain things that it felt weird. And then like
Mhm.
so and characterizations that were changed in such a way that doesn't feel right. And I guess and I had the same thought with the first season is I personally don't really care for how they are portraying the tension between Wednesday and Morticia
Mm.
because the originals don't really have that and the show doesn't really have that. So it kind of just feels out of nowhere because the whole purpose of the Addams family is to be like this is this family that is so like so unalike from other families in media. Like that's why Gomez and Morticia are so passionate and so constantly all over each other because at the time and still to this day parents are usually and most shows in media are shown not really liking each other
Yeah.
and that the daughter's always this like preppy poppy like bubblegum soda pop like bubbly person
Mhm.
and so Wednesday is supposed to be kind of an opposite of that and I felt like mom and daughter tension is too stereotypical for the
Mhm.
Addams, if that makes sense.
Yep. It's almost very normy in
Yeah.
comparison to being, like, an outcast, and yes, I get it, like, every family will have their differences, their tension and what have you, but there seems to be some themes in this season that are a tad bit over the top. Your point about Morticia and Wednesday's relationship is one, but the other was going back to season 1, the love triangle between Tyler and Xavier and Wednesday was just, like, really, really obviously heavily focused on, and I get it, they're teenagers, this is almost like a coming of age kind of storyline, but they focus really a lot of their time and story on that theme, which did change for this
Mhm.
season, because, the actor who played Xavier did not return. Um, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, I I agree with you about there's some things in this season that's a little lackluster. I feel with the first 2 episodes, learning who Wednesday's stalker is was I don't know, to me felt very rushed because that's how we
Yes.
ended
Mhm.
season 1 with the text messaging and the creepy pictures from afar when Wednesday was speaking to Xavier for the what would be the last time. It just I don't know, it felt like we were just kind of being thrown or wrapping up storylines very, very quickly, and it's like, "Here you
Yes.
go, force feed, let's move on to the next thing." We're gonna talk about it, obviously, so let's
Yeah.
just get right into it. We do have some new characters that are joining us for this season. We also have some returning characters as well. But let's begin with episode 1 entitled "Here We Woe," WOE again. This is directed by Tim Burton, written by Alfred Goff. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing this, and Miles Millar. Wednesday has returned to Nevermore and discovers she's a celebrity. She hates that, obviously. We also get the new principal, Barry Dort, who is played by Steve Buscemi, who offers her the honor student position at the start of year bonfire. So just from the jump, we're getting like less school education and more like activities and fun and like
Yeah.
traditions that have not been shown before, or maybe he's just trying to bring back like the old Nevermore, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
also joining Wednesday at Nevermore is Pugsley. What do you think about getting to see more of Pugsley so far in this season, who is played by Isaac Ordonez?
I really enjoy it because honestly, we don't really see much of Pugsley even in the original movies. Like
Right.
it's mostly just the shenanigans of the other rest of the family. Like he's just
Right.
kind of there as a comic relief kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, sorry, breath caught my throat. Um, so I think it was really kind of nice to see him, but I don't really like how he's being treated. Because like his classmate, whose name I forget, the bug controlling, but
Oh,
he got kind
Eugene.
of, yeah, Eugene. He got a little cocky after helping Wednesday save the school, and because of that, he's kind of being a jerk though
Hmm.
to Pugsley. And I mean, he does kind of tamper down a little bit as the
Yeah.
episodes go on, but still, right off the bat, it kind of just seems like this is a place where Pugsley is supposed to belong.
Hmm.
All outcasts are supposed to belong, and it seems really weird that he's essentially getting bullied. And
Yeah.
Wednesday also said she was going to like, well, yeah, she obviously doesn't want to because she's obviously going to be the big sister behavior.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to do much to take care of him. But I also feel like that's also weird for the Addams family. They should be supportive. Like, even though they do try to kill each other, they still
Yeah.
care about each other. Like, she's
Well,
very much in the only I can hurt my brother
yes.
kind of thing. And
Yes.
other than getting him that room and that roommate, she hasn't done anything
Hmm.
really with her brother. It's like they're basically strangers. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so as much as
Well,
I do like seeing Pugsley, I'm a little anymore.
well, also in this adaptation, unlike let's say the movies from the 90s, it was perceived that in the movies that Pugsley was the older of the two siblings, whereas in this show he is the younger of the two
Hmm.
siblings. And by the way, Eugene, obviously, this is supposed to be like they're returning after summer break. Eugene looks completely different, but also in real
Hmm.
time, it's been 3 years since this show was last airing.
Yeah.
I kind of got ahead of myself, Amber. I do want to talk really brief about Wednesday's summer, how she quote unquote mastered her psychic ability with the use of Goody Adams' book to help like hone in on her psychic skills, and she is going to Kansas City to solve this murder or serial killer mystery, right?
Hmm.
Where women have disappeared, what have you. And I got to say, I did not ever imagine a guest appearance of one Haley Joel Osment to be a serial killer in any show. And for me, this was on the heels. I watched this on the heels of having watched the Happy Gilmore sequel, where Haley
Hmm.
Joel Osment had also been a character in that movie. So polar opposite characters, very silly in Happy Gilmore, but to see him as like this serial killer who has a room full of dolls whose hair are are real human hair, and Wednesday is quote his next victim, and of course naturally things do not go the way the serial killer thinks it will, because
Thanks to Thing.
Wednesday, thanks to Thing. Yes, we get the return of Thing, obviously, and Wednesday ultimately, uh, she solves the mystery, and she has the Kansas City. I forgot what his actual title was. Let me just look real quick here. The Kansas City Scalper. That's what it was. Scalper. His
Yeah, because
head
he
gets
uses
scalped.
the hair. Yeah,
Yes,
so
he uses the hair.
yeah.
He gets scalped, right? And then you'll see a newsletter, just kidding, a newspaper page framed in Wednesday's room before she returns to Nevermore, and that's how she basically spent her summer solving the
Yep.
mystery, honing in
Good
on
for
her
her.
psychic ability. Good for her. We love that in a woman.
Good for her.
But yes, we go back to Nevermore. We have Pugsley joining the school for the very first time, and we obviously continue with this whole stalker storyline from the end of season 1, and the stalker has now infiltrated her
Hmm.
dorm that is shared by Enid Sinclair, the werewolf, who is played by the lovely Emma Myers. I think she's really adorable. I want to talk
Hmm.
about um Enid real quick, because season 1 to season 2 character development has just like changed
Yes.
drastically, in my opinion. And Amber, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
I am actually quite heartbroken about it. I loved Enid, because I'm a pretty bubbly person as well, but I obviously, if you've seen me on other podcasts and such, I do like creepy things. So a lot of the time, people don't expect my bubbly personality to come with my aesthetic, I guess. So
And you're Slytherin.
yeah, and being a Slytherin, most people don't assume that I'm a Slytherin because of how bubbly and cheery I am. And I really liked Enid because she is that colorful, bubbly, energetic person, little like ray of sunshine. And she's still an outcast. She's a werewolf. She is still in Nevermore Academy. Like I really liked her, and I felt that her drastic change in personality, or I guess characterization, kind of felt like a letdown to me. I was really upset because and it's like to your point about how it's typical teenager behavior and such. I
Yeah.
think that that's kind of a cop out. I don't like what they did with her character. They just shifted the focus from the love triangle of Xavier, Tyler, and Wednesday and shifted it to Enid because they were like, "Oh, people really didn't like this in the first season with Wednesday, so
Hmm.
we're just going but we every show has to have a love triangle, so
Yeah.
let's give it to Enid." Like it felt but I don't think she deserved that, and it's
Yeah.
upsetting for me. But I want to know your thoughts too.
To make the very bubbly, energetic, very sweet roommate who was initially very annoying to Wednesday, to make her be the boy crazy, now she belongs, she's now popular, and this and that, what have you. It's just so, like you said, it's like a cop out. It's like very predictable, very, there's nothing new about that. While Enid in season 1 portrays to be very like insecure about herself because she had not wolfed out yet, even though she is a werewolf, right? Or she comes from a werewolf family. She was a very late bloomer when wolfing out. And so now that she has, she's been accepted into the pact, and she's been flirting with this boy named Bruno, who is I believe a new character, his played by Noah B. Taylor. And there seems to be little sparks, right? Little sparks that are going on between them. But Enid is still in a relationship with Ajax, who is a Gorgon. That that little relationship to me was very sweet,
Yeah.
but he Ajax has been kind of like left behind, and he doesn't know what's happening, doesn't, can't get a word in with Enid because she's just so wrapped up in like her own life, and it just makes her seem very shallow, which is a little
Yeah.
disappointing to me, because you already have one character, Wednesday, who is seemingly shallow, not shallow, but just very like
Cold.
uh cold, right? And Enid just kind of portrays that in a different way. And for
Mhm.
me, it's like, oh, like why did we do this? Why did we do this? Because the very fact that Enid is very central in Wednesday's life, more so this season
Yeah.
because of a vision, and we'll get to it, of a vision that Wednesday has regarding Enid. But we'll get
Mhm.
there. Promise we'll get
I
there.
also about while we're on the topic of Enid, I kind of
Yeah.
feel like and I understand like I'm going to say the Watsonian reason why Wednesday is kind of avoiding spending time with Enid is because of this what we will talk about
Impending
later
doom.
the impending doom and what we will elaborate later, but
Yep.
I sort of feel like it makes the relate even the relationship friendship between Wednesday and Enid feel shallow.
Yeah.
It seems like okay, they say that they're best friends, but
But they don't behave.
they don't behave like best friends and they're hardly ever there.
Yeah.
Like they're hardly ever around each other.
Yeah.
It's that it just they're friends, but just only a name. Like it seems really weird. Like, and it doesn't, and because of how I feel like Wednesday should at least talk to Enid about it. And I
Mhm.
understand that for plot relevance and reasons that can't happen, but I feel like Wednesday is one of those people who would very bluntly be like, "Hey, you're gonna die. We got to figure this out." Like,
Yeah.
it
But
seemed weird to me that they're just kind of being weird about it. I don't know.
I can't say this with much confidence because there hasn't been enough story to support what I'm about to say, but it kind of goes with this typical theme of if I speak it into existence to the person it's going to impact, then it's going to happen, right? And you manifest it, right? So probably for Wednesday's little brain, little twisted brain, that's probably what she feels and thinks, and in her Wednesday best efforts is going to go about it her way to hopefully make sure that none of that ever comes true. But that's the other thing with this. It's like the writing, I feel like maybe things were changing as they were filming, and I felt that way before I heard this interview with Jenna Ortega on the red carpet or the purple carpet, where someone had asked about, because she's now listed as an executive producer, how much does she weigh in when it came to the story and what have you? And she's like,
Mhm.
well, Tim Burton, the director, and I would step in when we felt it was necessary, but not to change whatever the writers wrote. She's like, we have the utmost faith and support our writers, but we would step in and change things to elevate the story. And I'm just wondering, is that really what happened? Because at times I was giving, Amber, I don't remember if you've seen the Star Wars sequels, the ones that we absolutely do not talk about here on this pod. They're trash. Y'all can come for
Wait,
me. It's
what
fine.
number? Gotta give me numbers. What do you mean? Because I've
Um,
seen
so
the
number
movies.
7,
I've seen all of them. Yeah.
yes. So number 7, 8, and 9, the newer ones.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one was absolute trash because it was actually literally being rewritten as it was being filmed, and
Yes.
you can see it. So that's kind of how I feel about some parts
Mhm.
of Wednesday. Like it does flow, but I feel like there's loose ends or just things that don't make sense. But anyway,
Yeah.
I I just feel like that's kind of partly the reason why this season thus far feels very lackluster. But I will say the fourth episode in part 1 did actually get good. Like
Yes.
the
I
first
agree.
3 episodes, I would probably rate them all the same. Like they're all like mid, okay, whatever. We're finally getting somewhere. I did enjoy episode 3 with the camp situation. I feel like, oh, there has always got to be something that deals with like team building and group activities or whatever, because
Yeah.
that's what we got in season 1. But for the most part, I feel like the first 2 episodes were very like dragging out the foundation of what this new story is going to be. And that's also partially the reason why our fellow watcher Tristan, who joined us for season 1, is not joining us for season 2, because
Yeah.
story was not the same, and then also a lot of bad crazy stuff has happened in the world since season 1, and it just sometimes the silliness doesn't hit the same. But anyway,
Yeah.
um back to talking about episode 1 of Wednesday. So we have a new principal. We have new initiatives from the principal. He wants to really get funding going for Nevermore. He is going to recruit um Bianca, who is the siren, played by the lovely Joy Sunday. He's recruiting her to be the student liaison for this fundraising gala, and to persuade, if you will, Morticia to lead the fundraiser committee, and also to eventually get her to reach out to her estranged mama, as she calls her, to drop some money for this school. Right? She is the wealthiest Nevermore alumni there is. Amber, your thoughts on Bianca having a little bit more to do, a little bit more story in this season?
I think it's actually I liked it. I think it's nice because, for one, she's an amazing actress. She's beautiful,
Oh,
and
yes.
I feel like because in the first season they really, really tried to make her like the mean girl,
Yeah.
and
The
the
jealous one and
yeah, and
mhm.
I'm really glad that they went away with that,
Mhm.
and that she, like the first scene that we see her in, this season is her getting the creepy fans to leave Wednesday alone. Like, thanks.
Yes.
Like that was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I I am very interested because they did drop hints before about what her mom's doing in the cult and such. So I think it's really nice to actually like see a little bit more of her and her character and her world.
Mhm.
I don't
The
really see how it's connecting at all yet,
mhm.
obviously, but there are some theories that I've heard that are interesting.
Same.
If you wanted to get into that,
So
you say first.
so actually, I think we'll save our predictions and theories maybe
Okay.
towards the end of this pod because we kind of have to go through like story in order to like make the theories and predictions make sense. Sorry.
Why do
Just
you have to be
following orders.
reasonable?
Just
Gotta
following
be
orders.
reasonable.
Anyway, but yeah, I love how Bianca has more of a bigger hopefully would be a bigger storyline in this
Mhm.
season and not be like your typical mean girl because it's almost like karma is coming back in a
Yeah.
fashion. Maybe not as aggressive as she was towards Wednesday because it seems like she and Wednesday are just I won't say friends, but they're, on better terms than they had
Mhm.
been in the previous year. But yeah, for Bianca to like just step in out of nowhere to send those little girls away. The little redhead girl, we're gonna talk about her next.
Yeah.
So I believe she's either new to Nevermore or she had previously been at Nevermore. We just never really got to see her or focus on her before. But
We
she's
never
been
got to
very
see her.
well, no pun intended, but that kind of worked out in my favor. Um, this little redhead girl who also dons the same hairstyle as our beloved Wednesday. Her name is Agnes. Agnes is played by Evie Templeton. Has the same creepy stare and the no blinking as
Mhm.
Wednesday. Come to find out, Amber, that this girl is Wednesday's stalker. What were your thoughts on
She
that? Did you see that coming? Pun intended that time. And please
um
explain what I mean by that.
well, how the stalker has been getting everywhere and vanishing without a trace is because Agnes can turn invisible, and which actually kind of funny because in classical, like the story, The Invisible Man, he is also
Nah.
a redhead, so that's kind of funny. Um, like they even reference it in Hotel Transylvania. Like it's funny
Yeah.
that she was the redhead, but
Yes.
she isn't. She's able to be invisible, and that's how she's able to get all of these notes and all of these pictures and never be seen. And that's very, very clever. And she orchestrated all of this and did all the death threats because she did and caught Enid and Bruno
Mhm.
because she knew that nothing less would intrigue Wednesday. And she just wanted Wednesday's attention.
Stalkers be stalkering and doing the weirdest shit, period. Honestly. Like honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Getting a little ahead of ourselves, but because I was talking about the redhead that Bianca sent away, I had to, obviously bring it out here that this is who the stalker is. The reveal came in episode 2, and we'll talk about that later. But the stalker, Agnes, actually steals Wednesday's manuscript that she has been working on for the last 2 years. And in order to, get her attention, right, she steals the manuscript. There's like this big bonfire that's supposed to, another Nevermore tradition that by the way, the bonfire looked really cool. Like
It did.
the sculpture of the raven with the logs and what have you done by the Da Vinci's, right? These are
Mhm.
outcasts who have the ability to move or levitate objects or what have you, or create really cool looking things. And the manuscript was somewhere buried deep into this structure, and of course it would be set ablaze by Principal Dort, who apparently has pyro powers of some kind.
Pyromancy.
That's the word. Yeah, that one. Can't pronounce it
Pyromancy.
right now. My brain is not computing. But anyway, long story short, yeah, there's like this really cool bonfire scene. I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit because Amber, I know you have to talk about this
I
one
do.
actress who is new to the show. She is one of Amber's faves. And yeah, Amber, take it away. I'm not gonna talk anymore. Go ahead.
Okay. It's Billie Piper. She honestly, I don't even know what her name is in the show. What's her name in the show?
So I think she said she is, oh my god, where are my notes? Um something. Something.
She's
Oh my god.
pretty.
She's very pretty.
Mhm.
My goodness. Yeah, I recently have come to learn who Billie Piper is, and Am-
Extensively.
more or less. More or less. Is she even credited in this episode? This is crazy. Um Billie Piper. Isadora Capri.
Isadora. Okay, because I remember it was
Isadora Capri.
pretty. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, the love of my life, Billie Piper, is playing Isadora Capri. And if you guys have watched our Doctor Who coverage episodes, or I don't think I talked about it during Loki, but I one of my favorite things in Doctor Who is character. One of the favorite companions of mine is Rose Tyler, played by Billie Piper. So Billie Piper is actually the companion in Doctor Who that kickstarted this new the new run of Doctor Who, the reboot in 2005. So 20 years ago, guys, is when she did this amazing thing. And what's kind of cool is she's a little bit of I explained it to Brittany that she's a little bit of like a UK Britney Spears. She's a singer and an amazing singer at that, and a dancer. There's music videos on YouTube that you can watch. But she was able to get uh, just so popular enough to be recognizable, and Doctor Who kind of needed that. And so they casted her as Rose Tyler, and that as a companion in Doctor Who, and that kind of helped encourage new Doctor Who fans. And I think that's really interesting for Doctor Who as a being. But the thing that got me excited with this is in Doctor Who, I know this seems really off topic for everybody, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to be as fast and concise as possible. In Doctor Who, Rose Tyler, the first season with her is about this thing where no matter where they go in time and space, they're followed by the words bad wolf. Like Bad Wolf Corporation shows up in a game show satellite that they land in. They meet a psychic and she says, I see the big bad wolf behind you. And such things like that, that bad wolf kind of became a thing. And at the season finale, Rose Tyler looked into the heart of the time machine and absorbed it into herself and was able to become this like supreme omnipotent being, control time and space, save the day, save the doctor. And that was, and she realized, I am the bad wolf. I create myself and I see, I have the words and I scatter them across time and space to lead me here. And because of that, Doctor Who is forever haunted by Bad Wolf. Even still to this day, 20 years later, we still get a lot of Bad Wolf references. So much so that the production company that does things for Doctor Who changed their name to Bad Wolf Productions. It's a whole thing. Bad Wolf is a thing. So when I found out that Billie Piper was going to be in this new season of Wednesday and that she was a werewolf, um, needless to say, I was a little excited because the Bad Wolf is also what I use as my name in the Doctor Who podcast. Like I love the storyline. I love every single little nugget of references to Bad Wolf. So
Yeah.
I was really excited to see Billie, and within 30 seconds of her character's introduction, there's already, I think they said that she performed a song called Wolf Howl,
Yes.
something like that. But either way, I'm just, that Always Sunny meme pointing at
Yeah.
the screen and yelling. Yeah, like that was
Yep.
me.
That's Leo DiCaprio, that meme that we all have come to see. That there we go. That's Amber right there. Yep. It's like whoa,
That's
whoa.
me.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's it. I just think she's pretty and she has an amazing
oh no,
voice.
she's
And I
gorgeous.
think she's gorgeous. She's pretty. She's a good actress. But
Great singer.
in my brain, she's always going to be Bad Wolf. She's always going to be Rose Tyler.
Well, I think obviously that was done intentional because of the iconic pop culture reference that is Doctor Who and her role in Doctor Who, how monumental that is for all the Whovians out there. So to reference something wolf related is just incredible. Apparently, Wednesday does admire this new music teacher at Nevermore because Isadora Capri was a child prodigy. And if you will, Wednesday, I don't know, would you say child prodigy in the cello? But I will give Jenna Ortega props because she did learn how to play the cello. So when you see her playing on screen, I believe she really is playing.
Nice.
The notes and things like that. Even she learned it for season 1. Like she did her homework. She learned how to fence, archery, canoeing, play the cello. I think she learned German specifically for season 1 because there was a episode where she had to speak some German. But Jenna Ortega really envelops the tasks in order it takes to be Wednesday. We got to see more fencing in this season as well, which is great. We'll touch on that shortly. But I love the interaction between Wednesday and the music teacher because the music teacher is going to probably challenge her. And I'm not going to lie, Amber, I was very sus about her from the jump.
I am too, but
yeah,
I'm just
I'm still sus about her. Very, very sus. Because the reason that Miss Capri came to Nevermore is because she claimed she was inspired by a group of students who saved their school. So she wanted to come and contribute to the community. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not sus
did
at all.
See a funny somebody was saying that they think that she's involved with the avian plot and going on like that. But a lot of people were like, it can't be the redheaded teacher twice. Maybe she's a red herring. Red herring because she has
another red herring teacher. Yep.
Yeah, we're
That's
hilarious over here. But
totally.
that was to somebody on TikTok. Okay, that wasn't me. I'm not that clever. But yeah. Either way, I wanted to share because it's funny.
Yes. 2 other things that we need to talk about from this episode, and we'll move on to episode 2. 2 things that are really driving this story is that 1, in the boys' hall, they hear a story. So Pugsley, Eugene, all the boys of Caliban Hall are listening to a story. It's tradition to share on the first night at Nevermore about a student who had a clockwork heart. Eventually died. It was an invention of his own, this clockwork heart. He was brilliant, invented a lot of things, very, Dr. Frankenstein, if you will, right? And died as a result of his own dangerous inventions. Well, the story is that this former student is buried at the base of the skull tree. And Pugsley, who I feel bad for, like he's trying to find a way to fit in. He listens to the story, seems really interested, takes it upon himself to go investigate, and goes to that skull tree. And Pugsley, by the way, has inherited a Addams Family trait, one to match his Uncle Fester, and that is with this electric, I don't know what you call it, electric lightning sparks coming out of your fingertips, what have you. You can electrocute people. I don't know.
Would it be electromancy?
I don't know the word, but we're going to go with that. But anyway,
okay, sure.
Yes, Pugsley is also gifted. His sister he is psychic. He can do things, sparkly things, and go, pew. Anyway, but because Pugsley is Pugsley. He somehow like generates enough electric energy in the ground to restart that clockwork heart, and the student is alive. Comes from the ground, is reanimated, and now Pugsley has a pet zombie. We'll talk more about that shortly. The last storyline that we need to discuss is about these murderous crows, which, by the way, I actually learned this from the show. A group of crows are called murder. A murder
You didn't
of
know
crows.
that?
No, I did not know that. As
Well,
Edgar
also
Allan
a
Poe
group of
would be
owls is called
so
a parliament, just so you know.
that I did not know either. Like
Yeah.
the things that you learn here on the Watchers in the Basement. But yes, there are these crows. These are very evil type crows who killed a man who was doing some PI work, and they're led by this one-eyed crow. And yeah, that's it's kind of curious because crows obviously don't behave like that. They're very intelligent. Like let's just be real. But they are definitely going to be a big part of the season, probably for the the duration of it. But yeah, they're over here causing some chaos, some murders. The first victim.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. I don't know if I'm frozen or what, but on my side, Brittany's frozen. Bro. Oh, okay. So Brittany just texted me. Sorry about everybody. You had a seconds of silence while I was dealing with it. Brittany's power went out. There's a storm going on right now, an electrical storm. So Pugsley is dealing with that, and her power went out. It's flickered, so she's going to come back. I am going to keep talking to fill the silence for a minute. Um, so yeah, she was talking about how currently there's been some murders by these murder of crows, and they're led by this one-eyed crow that has like a white eye and some it looks like a scar or a burn mark on its face. We're not really too sure, but they are being controlled, and I don't believe they had confirm it into the second episode, but that she is the reason that this is happening is the birds are probably being controlled by an avian. That is a type of student at Nevermore, or like how they all have words, like obviously the psychics, the Da Vinci's, the sirens, and such. So they haven't had an avian at the school for years, and that's kind of left for later on. And we do get um, closure for that in the fourth episode, which is interesting. But I guess until Brittany returns, I also want to do a little pun because I love my puns. So, what do you call a group of two ravens? An attempted murder. Ha ha ha. Okay. Okay, that's it. That's all I had. Well, going into episode 2, because I do not have the episode notes, but I really want Brittany to come back. I wanted to I just found that the story did pick up, and I do believe we get to see Tyler and Wednesday again, which is interesting because she goes to visit Tyler. And when she goes to visit Tyler in the asylum where he's being kept and chained, that she filled out the paper weeks ago, and now she had an excuse to see him. Are you here? Are you home?
Back. Okay.
Yay! Okay, I started talking about how she went to go visit Tyler.
Okay,
After
perfect.
giving a bad joke, but there you go.
I apologize, everyone. I should have said it here on the pod, but yes, there is some rain happening on my side of the country, and
Explained.
it just happens. Anyway, so to wrap up real quick about the other episode, we have a reanimated zombie that's going to play a big factor into this season, and
there's been murders by murders.
Murders by murders crows. Yes, Tyler. Wednesday goes to visit Tyler. Sorry if I seem a little frazzled, y'all. We're just gonna, fake it until we make it.
You got frazzled by the lightning?
A little bit. Pugsley, I need you to calm down. So we get Wednesday to visit Tyler because Tyler's dad, the former sheriff, has been murdered by these same damn crows, right? And Wednesday naturally is viewed as the apparent killer. Her dad comes and saves the day about that because he's an attorney. Didn't know that.
Well, she was there when the cops got there.
That's true. That's also very true. But that being said, we obviously have to have a cameo of Tyler, right? Tyler, who is played by Hunter Doohan, the former love interest of Miss Wednesday Addams. He's also the Hyde. Hyde. Well, former. Well, I don't know. It remains to be seen. Hopefully they did away with that whole love triangle. Well, the whole love interest thing, but maybe not.
Well, I will say one thing though. I did see a TikTok video that cracked me up because the girls said that Wednesday wanted that cookie so bad because she filled out the paperwork weeks before even going back to school. She signed the paperwork weeks in advance. And his dad's dead. Now I have an excuse. I mean, you can't argue that. You can't.
Good point. I cannot argue that. But yes,
my shipper heart, my little shipper heart. I ship everything. I like to ship things, and my shipper heart's still gonna be on it.
Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. Yes. So Wednesday is like, yo, I gotta go see my boo thing, and why they chose to have Tyler shirtless is beyond me. And by the way, sidebar.
And very important reasons.
Well, okay, but sidebar. I got very excited when I saw Hunter in a different show that's near and dear to my heart, although it greatly disappointed me. And that is Daredevil: Born Again. Hunter was the villain, or one of the villains in that show, and man, he got ripped. I appreciate being able to see more of that in Wednesday.
For very important reasons. And also, I mean, we've seen Gomez and Morticia, so I'm sure Wednesday had a great time seeing them all, seeing him shirtless and tied up. I mean, they match each other's freak too well. I can't.
A little bit. Well, Tyler did call out Wednesday to say that she fell in love with the monster, and it's like, ooh, now their banter back and forth, I think, was really great. They have great chemistry on screen, even when they're, further apart. But, I got to say, Amber, too, one of the characters that, I don't know if you briefly spoke on this, but one of the characters that we first are introduced to at this, oh God, what is it called? The asylum. Willow Hill Psychiatric Hospital. That was a mouthful.
I did not touch on the doctor or the assistant.
So the assistant, I freaked out because I'm like, oh, I know her. She was in what we call it, Princess Diaries. She was the best friend to Princess Mia Thermopolis, right? And
which takes place in San Francisco, where I live. Well, I live north of San Francisco, but that's all the internet needs to know.
Yes, that is all the internet ever needs to know. Yeah, she is in this episode, and I'm trying to find her name, and Heather Matarazzo. Yeah, she. I thought it was very random that she was, in this show. It's not, people. It's not random. Pay attention. But then you have the lovely Dr. Fairburn, played by none other than Thwandi. I know I'm mispronouncing her name. Newton. She is legendary. She is just amazing. Love, what not to love. And she is a normie who treats outcasts, which is a little weird because it's like what Wednesday said. It's like a vegan writing a book about cannibalism.
Yeah.
What do you know? Right?
Yeah.
Seriously. What do you know? Nothing.
I actually really do wonder about that. Like, are we supposed to assume that all of the outcasts are themselves too cuckoo to be a psychiatrist? Because that's kind of limiting. But
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
like, I,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, Wednesday visits
Conflict.
Tyler. Yeah. Wednesday visits Tyler, and obviously you see him try to transform. He can't. He's got an electric collar. And
Mm.
basically, she has the last say to walk away and potentially never return. Sure. Sure. We'll go with that. Well,
Sure.
so because of Galpin, Tyler's father's murder, Wednesday is treated to his eyeball showing up randomly in her dorm with Enid, and she's trying to use her psychic ability, which she hasn't been able to use because at the end of the bonfire, when Enid is running after Wednesday, touches her, she has like this most epic vision, right? I don't know if you spoke on this yet,
I did not.
Amber.
I did not have
Okay,
the time. No. But the
this
prophetic
this
vision.
this is like the bulk of the storyline where Wednesday has like this big vision about Enid. You see a gravestone. You see that one-eyed crow that is on top of that headstone, and you hear Enid say to Wednesday, "It's all your fault. It's all your fault that I died." And so Wednesday is trying to prevent this vision to come to into fruition. So Galpin's eye. Why do I bring this up? Because again, she tries to hold the eyeball, tries to tap into her psychic ability, not working at all. So
Yep.
that's a problem.
Fizzles out.
Fizzles out. It is a problem. On the other side of the Addams family situation, Pugsley now has a pet zombie named Slurp, who is chained up in Eugene's little beekeeper hut thingy mabobber. And yeah, it's not gonna end well, y'all. That's all you need to know. It's really
It never
honestly
ends well with zombies.
not gonna end well. Uh
We haven't really
Enid.
talked about Gomez and Morticia.
Oh, please
This
be my guest.
um there's not much, at least at this point, but the new principal, he is trying to get, we like Brittany did mention that he is trying to get more funds and things for the school, and he's really focused on more money like aspects and fundraising and such. That's why there is going to be a gala, and he decides that he wants to make Morticia the sort of head of the fundraising committee. And to do that, and the reason why he wants to do that is because of Mama Frump, uh, Morticia's mother, who is, like Brittany mentioned, the most wealthy alumni of Nevermore Academy. So they're there, and instead they're kind of staying at one of the random houses that I guess that they're just teacher houses randomly about. I don't know. I kind of thought this was a Hogwarts situation, but I guess not. So, um, so these kids are just left there alone at night. That doesn't seem safe. Anyway, sorry. Um, Off topic. My brain. So the Adams get to stay there, and it's all funny and bright and pink and pastel colors, which is a nod to the original black and white films,
It is
because to get the contrast
the payoff.
viable, yeah, for the thank you, payoff is the best word. The payoff of the black and white contrast, they had to make the Adams Family house was actually pink and pastel and very very brightly colored, and when filming in a medium that is black and white, it looked dark and gloomy because it was filled with dark and gloomy things, but in pastels. And I thought that
Mhm.
was a fun little nod. And as the episodes go on and we see more of the space, you can see that Morticia is making it subtly darker and darker and darker, and I love
Yes.
it.
Oh yeah, it's very good. While on the subject of Addams Family, Morticia and Gomez, we also get a nod to the predecessor of Uncle Fester. We have Christopher Lloyd joining the cast this time, but just mostly his head in a in a bowl, basically.
Yeah.
He plays the professor of some sort, autonomy, I guess, Professor Orloff. And I just think it's great that they're able to incorporate past actors from the movies that we grew up with, obviously, into this show and not be like their characters, right? Christina Ricci has previously been in season 1 of Wednesday. She played a teacher as well. Christopher Lloyd, also a teacher in this show. So just a quick
Also, is it
sidebar.
like I don't know if it actually is or not, but is Orlov like a reference to Count Orlov? Like
See, that's what I
from
thought too. I was going to ask you the exact
Series of
same
Unfortunate
thing.
Events? I
Yes.
want to assume yes,
Yeah.
because the show is riddled with these references, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool.
It is. There's a lot of like either other scary horror movie references, of course, literary references throughout this whole show, and I think it's great how they're able to like bridge all of that together and not be over the top, but you get those subtle references, just like
Yeah.
when you see Principal Dort talk to Bianca about using her powers of persuasion, to encourage Morticia to not only join the committee, but to reach out to her mama. And he makes a reference about how Bianca, being just a stellar student, would make the founder of Nevermore proud. And you see the portrait of Edgar Allan Poe in the back, and you kind of see some resemblance with this hairstyle of Principal Dort.
Well, yeah, we'll get to the theories later, but I have a theory about
Yes.
him. But
Yeah.
it
So
doesn't
put a
involve
pin in that.
Poe. Doesn't involve Poe, but it does involve him.
We'll put a pin in that. To kind of wrap up this episode, we've already spoken about this briefly, about Agnes, the little student stalker with invisibility powers. She kidnaps Bruno and Enid, locks them in the clock tower. That there's this riddle or puzzles of sorts that Wednesday has to solve before they are doomed to their deaths, obviously. And that kind of just wraps that little stalker storyline fairly quickly. Like I said, this is episode 2 of season 2, when the stalker storyline was more or less introduced the very end of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know. I felt like you said in the beginning of this podcast, that I felt like it was a little rushed. That was the literal actual like cliffhanger to the first season, and we got it by episode 2. That, I don't know. I wanted a little more. But.
Me too. So that was episode 2, entitled "The Devil You Woe." Moving on to episode 3, "Call of the Woe." Not Call of the Wild, Call of the Woe. But this is a very wild episode, y'all, because the students of Nevermore are doing a camping trip to Camp Jericho, much to Wednesday's displeasure, but it does serve a purpose for her because she is on a mission to locate the cabin that Galpin and his former partner were using in order to kind of, do some police work and try to solve like this mystery about the outcasts and what have you. But basically, Wednesday decides to, like I said, attend Nevermore's first camping trip, and her parents are also coming along as chaperones, as you do. I feel like this is the first time we've all seen Morticia outside of wearing like the long, very figure flattering.
She's wearing pants.
Dresses. She's wearing pants. Wearing pants. She looks like
baffled.
she is a safari hunter. with the veil. She also has like the pigtails that mirrors Wednesday. At this point, too, Morticia has taken Goody Addams' book that Wednesday wants back because she feels that that book has answers as to helping regain her psychic abilities. But also Wednesday has like these black tears that she's, shedding, I will say.
Which is psychic exhaustion. Morticia remembers it from Ophelia, her sister.
Yes. Yes. Ophelia will be mentioned a lot throughout the season as well. We don't get a lot of information from the jump, but we do get references and how Morticia wants to protect Wednesday. She doesn't want to lose her like she lost her sister Ophelia. So that being said, all the Addams are camping. Oh, pardon me. And Bugsley also is joining and brings Slurp along for the ride. That way he's not left unattended at the school. So there's also a double booking that happens with Nevermore and this group, Phoenix cadets, who are just over the top, take the opportunity to fight over who gets to stay on the campgrounds by playing the first ever Capture the Flag challenge. Whoever gets their flag and puts it on the little pedestal thing wins. The other has to leave. Well, that doesn't always go as planned, right? What did you think about Wednesday having to kind of be like the savior once again when it came to outdoor activities and being in a group?
It felt weird. It felt like, honestly, I feel like she has, they're giving her way too much main character energy. Like they're making her, oh, she's amazingly good at this. She's able to get the thing just in time. She's able to make that shot and go like slide down the thing. Like it, like Wednesday is an amazing character. That's honestly, she's one. Her and Morticia are my favorite characters from the Addams Family, like the originals too. Like I just don't. I don't know. It just seems a little weird. It seems like a little like overpowered, and it seems a little out of character and strange that she would even want to. Like, sure, I can see her proposing that they have this capture the flag battle sort of deal, but I don't really imagine her taking part, much less leading it and succeeding in it. It felt weird to me.
I agree because I feel like that would have been the opportunity for her to, okay, we're going to do this challenge. Everyone is going to participate in this, but I'm going to take the opportunity to go run off to go find the cabin that belonged to Galpin so she can continue doing her detective work old school way.
That's where I thought it was going.
Right. I thought the same thing. It's like, why is like she actually having to or wanting to participate? So it's kind of like this weird thing with her. She seems very antisocial, but she's also a willing participant.
It seemed really weird and off character. And also, I feel like this is just how, well, this season, I feel like, well, last season they had the canoe rowing little championship, and I feel like that's kind of what they were trying to go with this.
Yes.
They were trying to just bring back that same energy, and or even just both of those are references to the Addams Family when they go to a summer camp. Like it's just it. I get that they're trying to make a reference, but it just seemed weird because Wednesday didn't act like that at summer camp, and she didn't, and she
not until she got brainwashed and
but until and even in the canoe race, like she participated, but and that it wasn't entirely. It was more for her be her own pride. It wasn't like I'm going to defend my school. Like
exactly.
It felt weird. And also, why is Dort, like Principal Dort, whatever his name is, why is he doing this and having a gala and things like that when they need money? These are events and things that cost money. I don't.
Also, when do these kids go to school? When did they actually like do classes? Just curious.
What is their schedule?
What's the schedule
I
like?
need to
Yeah.
know. Even Hogwarts had school schedules, like had classes. Like I need to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, anyway, capture the flag is had naturally. It looks like the Phoenix cadets are going to be in the lead. They use whatever means necessary in order to take down their enemies, right? They use tear gas. They use all means of anything and everything. And Wednesday, of course, will prevail, right? And of course, that's not the end that we hear of these cadets. They will come back to try and overthrow and kick out the Nevermore outcasts, if you will. But while all this is happening at night, we do get a lovely little musical number from Billie Piper and Catherine Zeta-Jones. I loved it. I'm like, oh yes, we're gonna tap into the musical side of Catherine Zeta-Jones. I was like, yes, Velma Kelly, come out, like let her be
Yeah.
heard. Yes. Um, and I'm trying to remember what
And
the title is. Bad Moon Rising. Bad Moon Rising from Credence Clearwater revived. So stripped down acoustic with guitar, lovely harmony. If y'all haven't watched
also,
this episode, watch it just for the scene.
oh yeah, fantastic. I that like obviously they sang Bad Moon Rising because it's like a beautiful camp song. Cool, cool. But Isadora even mentioned to Enid, like, oh, we're gonna have to do some planning. I don't know why Principal Dort would schedule this on a full moon. I
Yeah, that
thought
went
that was gonna
nowhere.
come up. Yeah, like you
That
would
went
think that that would be
nowhere.
a problem. Like it would have been cool if like, oh, the only time that Wednesday was able to get to the cabin was at night, and then oh, there's a bunch of freaking werewolves attacking her, like or chasing her,
Uh-huh.
and that would have been built up suspense and
Mm-hmm.
anticipation. Or also the other like the Phoenix Scouts or whatever they were,
Mm-hmm.
they ended up trying to take over the school again too and such,
Yeah.
and it's like that, and
Budget
they ended
didn't
up
have
actually.
it. They didn't have the budget for the CGI.
You're right, you're right, you're right. That's the doylist reason, but I'm like, I just why would the Phoenix Scouts be taken care of by Slurp when there you already planted the seed for it to be werewolves? Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
I
I'm
know
sorry.
it
It's
went nowhere. It really annoyed me about that. There's like I said, this season has some like loose ends thus far
yeah.
that I feel like, oh, we're gonna mention it, and then we're just gonna kind of like change the storyline to fit something different. But
Yeah,
that's
it felt
perfectly
like they
fine.
just needed a reason for Isadora to take away Enid from Wednesday at the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that's it.
yeah. That's true.
So they
Well,
just threw some dialogue in there.
they did.
What are two
But
werewolves going to talk about?
but what ends up happening during this sing along is Wednesday does go to that bullpen, that cabin that belonged to Galpin, does her investigative work to find that there are some newspaper clippings of obituaries of outcasts who all died and were all patients at the Willow Hill Psychiatric Hospital. It's curious that Galpin was so interested in finding out more information about them because all of their clippings point back to a name, Lois. So now it's who is Lois? What does she have to do with all these people? But Wednesday at this point is like, hey, I really need to regain my powers. I need Goody's book back. Goes and challenges her mother to a duelo a ciegas, which translates to a blindfolded duel, if you will. And once again, Catherine Zeta-Jones shows us her sword fighting skills, a callback to her character, Elena from The Mask of Zorro. Gotta say, really enjoyed this scene with the two women, mother and daughter, dueling it out for the book. If Wednesday wins, she gets the book back. If Morticia wins, she burns the book. And whoever breaks the little glass heart that they wear on their chest will, claim victory, right? Really cool choreography. What did you think of this whole scene? I think you're muted.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself. My laundry was going being loud.
You're good.
Anyway, I thought it was really, really cool. I loved the choreography. It was amazing. I think that both of them did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I
The
did real
acrobatics.
yeah, like, it was an amazing scene overall. I just did think it was a little, like, odd because normally in the past, we always see, like, Gomez being the fencing person, so, like, you would like, in the first season when we see, Wednesday fencing, you would kinda think, "Oh, she got that from her dad." But apparently, no, she got it from both her parents.
Hmm.
It was a pleasant surprise, and
Very much so.
I do like that throughout this entire show, we do get, like, a little more info and and, like, tidbits into the Addams family and their history. I think it's cool.
I think it's great. Shout out to Corey, who's in today's pod. Appreciate you being
Hi,
here.
friend.
Ayo.
He said that
Hello.
he thought, I texted him because I was like, "Yo, where you at?" Because he said that he was gonna be here. He thought, 7:30 our time.
Oh, I forgive you. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. You just had to
So,
be far away. It's
and well,
fine.
also Arizona doesn't do like the whole time zone bit, so
True.
I also
Yeah.
forgive y'all for that. What's up, Yesenia? Thank you for being here as well. She says, hi, I
Hi,
lurk.
friend.
She goes, I don't watch, I lurk. It's all good. No worries. No worries. We appreciate all of y'all taking time to be here. Yes, we do seem to love the show. Wednesday season 1 was great. So far we're just, we're lacking a little bit in season 2, but we do have theories. We do have predictions that we're going to share at the end of this pod. Corey, it's all good. Time is time's a funny thing. It's an illusion. Uh, Getting back to wrapping up the end of episode 3. So, as I said, Morticia wins. She says she's going to burn Goody's book, but Slurp, the reanimated zombie, he's raiding the campsite because the Phoenix cadets have unleashed him. Ends up killing their leader, sadly. Not really. Almost
Do
kills
we really care?
Gomez. Do we really care? Yeah. Almost ends up killing Gomez, but
That we do
Pugsley,
care about.
that we do. But Pugsley comes in, swoops in, saves the day, electrifies Slurp to where EMS, police, Willow Hill come in to do their thing. They take away the zombie back to their hospital. And that's where we get to see also a new patient at Willow Hill. None other than Miss Christina Ricci making her return
Yeah.
to grace us with her presence. Wasn't expecting that personally. I actually thought she, died. Her character died at the end of season 1, but I guess not. Were you at all surprised to see her appearance?
I thought she was going to be in it.
Okay.
But I was surprised to see her so early. I thought it was gonna be a more
Mm,
near the end of the season thing, or
okay.
even just, like, a small little bit. Like, she ended up being pretty prominent in especially
Yeah,
episode 4, but
for sure.
I thought we weren't gonna get her till later, and even then, I thought the short scenes with her were gonna be short, but
Yeah.
I love her.
Well, the theory from Dr. Fairburn of the psychiatric hospital is that if she kept Tyler away from Marilyn Thornhill, played by Christina Ricci, that their bond would actually, start to weaken. Well, didn't prove to be true at all. So why she decides to bring them closer together was beyond me until episode 4. But hey, anyway, but we're gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and start talking about episode 4. Corey, feel better. I feel you, my dude.
Bye.
I had my wisdom teeth, all 4 taken out at once. The struggle is real. So feel better.
I also have other things you could watch too, bro, like, we gotta
But
text
yeah,
me
watch the
later, we'll
show.
figure it out.
Watch the
Yeah,
show.
watch Wednesday.
Come back and
We
watch our
have
pod.
others.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it very much. Yeah. Um, if these
Episode 4?
woes could talk, Amber, episode 4, what would they say? Well, that
A lot.
a lot. So in her research, Wednesday discovers that there is a former doctor of Willow Hill who signed all the death certificates for these patients, these outcast patients that died, that are connected to Lois, by the name of Augustus Stonehurst. who is
We find out because of
currently
Mama Frump. You forgot Mama Frump.
Mama Frump. That is true. I know I'm going a little out of order, but but uh Augustus Stonehurst is now a patient there at Willow Hill. We'll talk about that in a moment. But yes, the grandmama Frump. You see this really creepy smile across Wednesday's face when she makes her grand appearance, because Wednesday is at a cemetery. She is trying to check out one of the grave sites of one of these patients. Grandmama comes
Urns.
in. These urns, yes, thank you. Pulls out the urn, opens it, tells Wednesday, remember what I taught you. And Wednesday is like smelling the ashes from this urn. Yo, this was like, I'm like, okay, now we're overstepping. This is bizarre, even for me. Even for Tim Burton, I feel like this is bizarre.
Aw.
Yeah. But Wednesday smells all sorts of creatures, but not human. So Amber, with Grandmama now in the picture, she goes and visits Morticia at some point as well. What did you make of the interaction between mother and daughter?
Tense,
Mm-hmm.
awkward, uncomfortable. We know that there is some bitterness and tension there, just from
Yep.
how Morticia acts in general.
Yep.
About whenever Mama Frump is mentioned, but Mama Frump seems to be. She has a very, very wealthy mortuary business,
Yep.
and that's actually how she was able to teach Wednesday how to smell where ashes are burned from. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a mortician. Do you guys? Are
Nope.
there any morticians that listening out there? Can you guys do this? I need to know.
I-
Anyway,
I've got a
um,
friend who's one, so yeah.
um,
Yeah.
they it just seems very, very tense because she seems to have a very good relationship, or at least she seems to be taking an interest in Wednesday,
Yeah.
and Wednesday kind of
Wednesday's kind
seems
of the
to,
pawn. Sorry, Wednesday's
yeah.
kind of like the pawn between the two. Like they try to use
Mhm,
her against each other.
yeah, and like I said, she was going to try and use that to try. Wednesday's going to try and use that to her ability to get the book back, and because and Mama Frumpy even seems to be aware of that because she says like, "Oh, when she finds out that I'm getting you into the family business, yeah, she'll do whatever she wants. Like she'll be
Mm-hmm.
upset about that." So she knows that that closeness is going to bother Morticia. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It seems tense. I'm very interested to see where it goes. And
Mm.
we do know that a lot of the origins of this tension is about Ophelia and how that was dealt with, because when Ophelia had psychic exhaustion and was seeing things, they just locked her away in Willow Hill
Yeah.
Asylum, and then she has since been missing,
For 20
and
years.
for 20 years. And Morticia wasn't allowed to do anything about that or talk to her or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the same thing happen to her daughter at the same time that her mom comes back, I can understand why Morticia is stressed. But I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm honestly very, very interested to find out what we learn about Ophelia.
Agreed. Agreed. Grandmama Frump is played by none other than Joanna Lumley, who is just a force to be reckoned with. My goodness, I love the Bride of Frankenstein hair. Again, we get like these hints to classic literary stories, and then the
Yeah.
movies, of course, is just like these little nods here and there are just phenomenal. I absolutely love it. But Grandmama Frump will buy the cemetery that Wednesday was at, to so she can continue doing her investigation and all this other stuff. But the clippings that she got from the cabin are stolen by the one-eyed crow, who seems to once again be controlled by someone who is known as an avian. We're going to put a pin in that too. Just got to bring that right back up again. Because it's also kind of like goes into the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is Lois. Lois, from what we thought, was a person. So maybe Lois is the person who is the avian who is controlling the crows and therefore doing terrible, terrible things. Well, Wednesday is also going to recruit another family member to infiltrate Willow Hill, and that is Uncle Fester. What did you think of his return to this season?
Very, very fun. We love Uncle Fester. I did
Oh yeah,
think like the random little like love like little like flirtationship he had with Louise that he thought was Lois. I thought that was
man,
kind of like,
that was intense.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, but what? Like obviously there's a whole movie about Uncle Fester's love life, but I
Debbie,
yeah, but I didn't expect him to have that much game. I don't know. It was
yo,
a whirlwind thing, and I
that
mean, she
was.
even after he left, after his like thing was revealed, she still helped them. Like, yeah, I'm turning invisible because of my black cat. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm here. I'm here, but black cats don't show well in green screen. Sorry,
It's all
but
good.
no, I liked seeing Uncle Fester, and I thought it was great. He's always a fun. He's always a hoot, and always willing
He
to help
is.
his family. So
That he is. He almost seems like he's an idiot, but he really isn't. He's quite intelligent, knows how to manipulate situations, ends up becoming, acquainted with Stonehurst, who was the doctor previously mentioned, who apparently can't speak for himself, but his parrot does know things. And the parrot gives the code for Fester to infiltrate a door to discover Louise. So Wednesday and
Lois,
Fester, Lois, thank you. Wednesday and Fester will go to learn that Lois is not a person's name. It is an acronym for Long Term Outcast Integration Study. It's a secret program to transfer outcast powers into normies. And these supposedly deceased Willow Hill patients are still held captive there. And there is also an unidentified woman because again Wednesday has done her due diligence. She's researched these people as best she can, but there is one unknown in that program.
I have a theory, but
We have a theory. We're going to talk about that shortly. But the big reveal in all of this was actually that of Heather Matarazzo's character, Judy Spanigal. Can't pronounce that.
the assistant. She's the asylum assistant, and she bless you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Um,
Oh my gosh, that crept up on me.
she is the assistant at the asylum, and
Yep.
you kind of just don't really think anything of her, and
Nope.
yeah,
I think they
she
did a good job, like making you kind of forget about her and not think she's
yeah,
important, but she actually is. Amber, who
yeah,
is
but
she really?
she is the daughter of the guy, and who obviously he's still in the asylum and everything like that, and he can't
The
speak
guy who was
anymore.
experimenting.
Yes, sorry, I glossed over that. So we actually find out that through her that is actually why he quote unquote went crazy and just stopped talking. Um, and that's because there's the testing that they were doing to try and give normies outcast powers was successful in her, and it turned her into an avian. And her dad wanted to be he wanted to be a Da Vinci, and
Mhm.
apparently it backfired because he is, catatonic, and um we don't really seem to know what his opinion on this because he can't really obviously commute that,
Yeah.
but it seems that like 'cause by helping Fester, it kind of seems like he's kind of opposed to what his daughter's doing, if he even
Yeah.
knows what's going on. But
Yeah.
I either way, she does reveal that this is a thing and that they keep the people down here and they fake their deaths and keep them down there and test on and experiment on them to give people, to give normies outcast powers, and it obviously worked on her. So that
Yeah.
is interesting.
It is, and then it's also kinda like, why continue the experiments when it drove her father to the point where he's now a patient at the hospital, right? It
Mhm.
it's like, is it worth it? I mean, yes, you were a success story, but, every person is different. It's not going to always work, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, that's just kinda like, why? And why is she so fixated on Wednesday specifically, it seems, because is it because of the fact that Wednesday has stumbled across the victims of Galpin and his late partner, Carl Bradbury, who was the first to die in this season by the murder of crows? Just why? Why
Yeah.
Wednesday?
It's still
Um,
all up in the air, we don't know yet.
exactly. So Fester will release the detainees of Lois, and
Causes a power outage, lets everybody out.
big, huge power outage, obviously. But Fester was also rooming very briefly with Slurp, who had been taken from the campsite. And because everyone, big outage, everyone's who is a patient is released and, havoc ensues, obviously. It seems that Slurp is regenerating more quickly than one would imagine because every time he eats a person or a person's brain, right, he becomes a little bit more whole. Sadly, he kills Dr. Fairburn, who I also thought was a baddie in this season, but she is not long for this world, obviously. And while
Mhm.
she tries to protect the former Dr. Stonehurst, as I said, she dies by Slurp. And Slurp actually utters a couple of words to Stonehurst
Yeah.
before he chomps on his brain. He says, "Hello, old friend." So I'm curious. I do have questions. I'm curious as to what
Mhm.
that may lead to, right? What's the connection there? Um, just jotting down a quick note. But
Yeah, was
um,
he, like, helping them? Does he know about it? Is that what led to his death? We don't
mhm,
really know, and
right.
it's all very interesting. And we
It
did get a
is.
little bit of, like, puzzle pieces of this because they did say when they were telling this ghost story of Callahan Hall, they did say it took place in this certain tower, and later on, we know that that's the where the guy who was doing this research and his daughter stayed because they say that he built her an aviary in there, and
Mhm.
she ended up being the avian. So it's like we kind of figured out, like we were getting the pieces, and then this is I think that they did that reveal and that connection pretty well.
I think so too. I agree. And the fact that when Enid and Bruno were kidnapped, they went to the Iago Tower where
Yes.
they're like, "Oh, it looks like this hasn't been used in a long time." It's like, "Oh, there was a big electrical storm that happened and they shut it down." It's like, mm, mm,
Yeah.
okay. Back to the story. So yes, Slurp is regenerating. He's able to speak at this point. Talking about Marilyn Thornhill for a moment because she earlier in the episodes we're having conversations with Dr. Fairburn about what to do about Tyler. She's like, "Oh, mommy's here, Tyler. Mommy would always come back for you, blah 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 blah." Tyler's like, "I'm going to kill you." And
I
yeah.
really, really love that they called it what it was, that she groomed him.
Yes.
I loved it that they called it what it was,
Mhm.
and
I
just
agree.
I love it because it doesn't just happen one way or one gender direction, it happens every which way,
Oh,
and
yes.
it does happen, so I thought that that
It
was
does.
really good to see.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, he wants to he wants to break something, and
Mm.
he he's very,
Her
very
whole
big mad at her. Yeah, and she seems to be like, "Oh, it's gonna be fine. I know that you're mad, but it's okay." Like, she doesn't seem to
Mhm.
she trusts so much that the Hyde can't kill the master, air quotes,
Mm-hmm.
that like she has too much faith in it. And I know that
Yeah.
the running theory is that Wednesday is his new master. And I get that that's been a theory that's been
Mm,
tossed around, is that
mm.
he has more loyalty to Wednesday in his like human life, therefore it has
Okay.
the Hyde goes like that.
Okay.
But
Sure.
that was like some person's theory. I don't really think so. I just think that maybe like we don't the Hyde cases are pretty rare
Mm-hmm.
from what we learned in the first season. How true is that? Like
Yeah.
you're putting a lot of faith into something that you don't know is true, lady.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Boy.
agree. Well, sadly for Marilyn Thornhill, the former master of Tyler, aka the Hyde, Tyler escapes his prison, and in Hyde form, he does kill Marilyn. So RIP. Sadly, we probably won't see Christina Ricci again in this series unless they are able to reanimate her as well. I highly doubt it. But yeah,
I
it
know, it
was
just gives
nice.
her more time to be in Yellow Jackets. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, seriously. But it seems like everyone either escapes the hospital or dies in the hospital. But one of the detainees that Wednesday and Fester freed is the unknown woman who bears a resemblance to the Addams Family women, Wednesday specifically. And while Wednesday, tries to help this unknown woman, Tyler, in Hyde form, chases down Wednesday and throws her out of a window, escapes, eluding police gunfire and capture her all together. But Wednesday's pretty banged up,
Yeah.
having been
But he didn't
thrown.
kill her.
Didn't kill her, but she is pretty bloodied, right? She is pretty bloodied.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much how part one of season two of Wednesday ends. We did see a preview of what part two entails. Not a
Mhm.
whole lot, but obviously the story will continue. The last four episodes will drop on September 3rd of this year. And of course, Amber and I will be back to discuss part two as well. So we hope you can join us, but we're not quite done yet. We are going to wrap very quickly. We're going to talk about theories
Yeah.
and predictions, not going into too much depth because this is already a long pod.
Yes.
Amber, I want to talk about really quick Bianca. Bianca, who is a siren, she has been ordered by Principal Dort to use her siren song in order to persuade Morticia to do the principal's bidding. Also, on that note of Principal Dort, he was talking to someone, a mysterious someone on the phone who sounded like he was, pledging his allegiance to or saying, hey, like, yeah, I'm doing everything I can, blah, 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 blah. Not sure where that's going to lead to, but yeah,
There's
I'm interested
the
in that.
theory that I've been seeing with Dort is that he is or is working for the cult leader that Bianca's mom was
Oh.
working with, and that's
Oh.
why he's so fixated on money, because that's what the cult
Oh.
leader was using Bianca's mother for,
Good
was
point.
he was using her and her siren abilities to get followers for his cult and therefore
Okay.
funds for his cult. So it was kind of a
Thanks.
that was a thought,
Okay.
but
Well, I'm
that's the
glad you
theory
brought
I've
that
been
up.
seeing around. But
I'm glad you
I
brought that up because we kind of glossed over Bianca and like her relationship with her mom now that she's got her mom out of the cult.
Mhm.
And I guess the soon to be ex-husband, hopefully Gideon, who was the cult leader, who's on the run. He had Bianca's mom use her siren song to the point where she lost it, just so that she can, get people to join this cult and for Gideon to steal all their money. Do you think that Bianca, by the end of the season, will lose her siren song?
At the rate that she has used it in these 4 episodes, I don't think so. I don't think she's using it enough.
Okay.
I think it would need to be something complete, like either a large group that she is persuading,
Mm,
or either like a massive, massive group, or a catalyst event for her to lose her
mm,
voice. Like I don't think she's using it enough, because you would assume like the amounts that she's using it, which is like maybe once or twice a day, maybe.
Mhm.
versus when her mom was being forced to use it, which was daily on multiple people and crowds
Yeah.
of people. I
Okay.
think comparatively, something would need to happen for that to happen.
Mm, okay. It just seems a little like there's a little bit
Mhm.
of foreshadowing, just
Yeah,
with what you just shared about her mother and how maybe Principal Dort is having Bianca use her siren song to for his gain, right? His
yeah.
financial gain. So that's a great theory about him maybe being cahoots with the cult leader Gideon. So we shall see. The other thing I want to, it's not really a theory or prediction. It's more of a comment about why Xavier is not on the show anymore. The actor who was Xavier, can't think of his name right off the top. Xavier Wednesday. Sorry. Percy Hines White. Percy Hines White was written off the show as having transferred from Nevermore to another boarding school in Switzerland, and therefore his father also withdrew funds from the school, and that's why this whole theme of fundraising and money is like really important. The rumors that are circulating about the actor is he was accused for sexual assault. Whether it's true or untrue, he still was written out of the show and probably will not be returning. I think they kind of killed off that storyline between
Yeah.
Xavier and Wednesday. But I actually did like the nod that they gave him about the painting. Like he painted the one-eyed crow on top of a headstone to send to Wednesday to say, "Hey, what's Wednesday Addams without a murder mystery of some kind, right?"
Yeah.
And that's just it was actually like a really nice kind of send off, sort of
Yeah, I
situation.
think it was a nice, like, putting a bow on it. I thought it was
Yeah,
nice.
it was very nice.
Um,
Uh,
do you have other
oh,
theories?
I have a couple more, just a
Yeah,
couple
go
more.
ahead.
So Slurp and Stonehurst, we kind of talked about this briefly. Slurp was the student who had the clockwork heart, made these great inventions, and died as a result of his inventions. Do we think that Stonehurst operated on Slurp because we don't know his actual name, of course? What do you think is the connection between Slurp and Stonehurst? I mean, former teacher, student situation, because Stonehurst did teach at Nevermore, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of thought because he says, "Hello, old friend," that kinda makes
Mhm.
me think that they were either working together and
Mhm.
maybe he ended up turning it on him, like, "Hey,
Mhm.
we
Hmm.
don't like, we're not gonna know unless we try it," and
Yeah.
maybe it backfired and that's what caused the electrical fire. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know.
We
But,
don't know.
no, I don't really have any other theory like, elaborated theories on that unless you do.
Okay. Okay. Second to last topic, Isadora, Capri, and then Judy. Is there any connection you think between them? Because like I said, for me personally, I'm like, I'm a little sus about Isadora. Like,
Yeah.
what is her role in this whole thing? Like, she can't just be the teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to serve a purpose. No different than like Christopher
Mhm.
Lloyd's character, Professor Olaf.
Yeah.
But I don't see how he necessarily could be a bigger character than that. But they're giving so much focus on Isadora that and her like wanting to kind of get closer to Wednesday. It makes me very curious as to like,
Mhm.
is she in cahoots with the avian? And because there's little hints in her
Yeah.
classroom with the bird cage and the birds and just kind of appearing in places where you know
And
it's
her
very
volunteering
sus.
at the asylum to perform, like,
Yes.
I hadn't really considered that because I got even though it was just more of a pun, I did think the whole her being a red herring was really funny.
Yeah.
And I kinda do see it, like, I can see it, like, she genuinely is like, "Oh, I hear this student is a prodigy. I was once a child prodigy." Like,
Mm,
I can see her genuinely taking an interest in Wednesday,
okay.
but I don't know, it might just be because I'm very, very easily gullible and I love
Mm,
her, so that
gotcha.
that that I'm biased. So,
This is also fair.
Yeah, but
100% fair.
I don't really know. And I know that you mentioned about the patient that they rescued. I
That goes into
it's
my
not
next topic.
it's not my theory,
Okay.
but it's somebody else's theory, and I
Mhm.
actually like I'm sure from your comment that you're alluding to the theory that she may be Ophelia,
Mhm.
but I was seeing theories, and I actually really like yours better, but I was
Okay.
seeing theories that that's Tyler's mom,
Okay. I
where he
hadn't
got the
considered that at
hide
all.
gene from.
Mhm.
And that I've been seeing people throwing that around
Okay.
because she doesn't really seem to have Adam's behavior.
Mhm.
And I can see like there are some similarities to
Yeah.
Addams Family, but also I do see some visual similarities to Tyler.
Yeah.
And I could see it being either one, Ophelia or Tyler's mom.
So, which leads me to my final theory prediction sort of situation. Ophelia. If we were to presume that she is the unknown woman that Wednesday tries to help escape, do you think that Grandmama had something to do with Ophelia's disappearance and why she didn't pursue her search for 20 years?
But how, because then like if she was involved with it, that means that she was involved with Stonehurst and the study in Lois, which I mean, sure, I can see it, but then like why would she be like willing to help lead Wednesday there? Like it kind of just seemed that doesn't make sense
Yeah. Yeah.
yet.
Mhm.
So like, because I if she is involved in stuff like that, then I could kind of see her being like, "Don't worry about this."
Mm.
But the fact that she not only
But
helped
that would be a
Wednesday, but she was
giveaway.
encouraging, I
Right.
guess.
I think it would be
But
like just a dead giveaway. Like, Wednesday, why are you pursuing this? No. Leave it behind. Leave it alone. That would be like a dead giveaway, in my personal opinion.
but it doesn't have to be that forthright. It could be much more subtle. Like, I'm
Mm.
glad that you're taking an interest in these funerary arts and stuff like that, but she was the one who gave her the name like of who signed off all these death certificates. She didn't have to do that.
Yeah, but we've seen like shows and movies in the past where the person who is directly involved would give you just enough information to throw you off their scent.
I guess, but it really doesn't. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't ring
No,
with me.
yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. It's just one of those theories that it's like, well, why would a mother not pursue the to find their missing daughter for 20 years? You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Fester goes
Um,
all over the place. I don't know.
well, but
Yeah, I
Fester also is a more likable person, whereas Grandmama apparently took more interest in the dead than she did with the living, according to Morticia. So I don't know. It just seems very off, you know, because Morticia speaks about her mother, like, she's just very meddling and, very this and that, what have you. And it's like, Morticia, babe, you're kind of doing the same thing, like just a little.
yeah, that's kind of that's
That's
like
not,
the familial cycle. It
that's
happens.
apple tree, like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I just think
kettle
if it
meet
is a,
pot.
yeah, if it is Ophelia and that would be revealed, then maybe could she guide Wednesday to using her psychic powers appropriately, or will she be Wednesday's demise? Dun dun dun.
Doom. I like impending doom. Well,
So does
we do
Wednesday.
know like what got her into the asylum was that she was having psychic exhaustion like Wednesday,
Yep.
and she was seeing horrible things, but we don't really know what.
Hmm.
So honestly, it could be very much like, what if she's seeing what the same thing that Wednesday's seeing?
Oh,
Or something very similar.
a
Like
bond.
instead of like, what if it's something like that? Or what if it was about Morticia? Or we don't know.
Mm.
Like Morticia equals Ened? Like, we don't really know. But,
Mhm.
or what if she saw all these things and didn't understand what was happening?
Yeah.
And like she ends up kind of being able to be helpful with it. Like, we don't really, there's so many different ways it can go.
Yeah.
We don't
No, this
know. I
is
don't know if you guys can hear my cat. She is just crying her little
oh,
heart out.
sweet baby. Well, we
Yeah.
will let you go and return to her because I think this wraps up our pod
Yep.
entirely for Wednesday season 2 part 1. We hope you all enjoyed it. Sorry for it being so long and sorry for the technical difficulties on my part. Thanks to the rain. Lord, help us all. That's the thing about Texas, you just get rain randomly and it causes power outages.
I just
But
think we jinxed it earlier because we earlier
yeah,
before we
talked
started the
about
pod,
it.
we talked about it,
It
and
was
I
manifested.
said, I'm like, don't put me alone on here. I don't want to talk by myself. I don't know what to do. I will get off topic.
And you
So
did
it
great. You did
did
great.
I though? You weren't here.
I was kind of trying to watch it on my phone, trying to reconnect to the Wi-Fi. I got bits and pieces. You did great. So,
Sure.
on that note, everyone, thank you once again for joining us. Thank you to Kimby Johnson, Yesenia, Corey, and anyone else in the live chat that I have failed to mention. Also, those who are watching our replay, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. If you like Wednesday and enjoyed this pod, please give us a thumbs up and also consider subscribing. Once again, we are on the road to 500 subscribers. Help get us there. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way, you know the next time we go live, which we will have more content coming to you shortly. And before we take off, I do want to give a moment to my lovely co host, Amber, so that she can talk about her wonderful YouTube channel.
Thank you. You always steal my pun. Um, so I have my own YouTube channel called All of Amber's Wands. It's a study of wands and wand lore in the Wizarding World universe. So Harry Potter, Fantastic Beast, everything in between, and our world. So I go into the cultural, symbolic, and historical meaning of the wood and the magical beast that the core is from. And I do a little wand analysis and how that relates to the character who owns the wand. If we don't know the wand stats for the person, then I come up with and I theorize what it could be based off of my research. And what I've been doing lately on TikTok and Instagram and my YouTube channel is having viewers put in the comments what their wand stats are, and I will give a little blurb back to it. I am working my way through the TikTok ones, but there are a lot of them, and my muggle life has been taking up too much of my time, so I'm slowly getting through it. And I haven't gotten to the YouTube ones yet or the Instagram ones, but I am going to be slowly answering them as I go. But it's very, very fun, and if you want a wonderful time or just want to hear me info dump about wand lore for a while or see my wand collection, you can check out my channel or my Instagram or my TikTok.
That's right. So all of her information, as well as the Watchers in the Basement social media links, can be found in the description box down below. Show Amber some love. Go follow her on her YouTube, her Instagram, her TikTok, which actually I don't have that list on here. My bad. That
Well,
being
you don't
said,
have one.
well, this is true, and I refuse to. But we will give the others the opportunity to follow you on TikTok if that's what they like. Lastly, we also have audio podcasts available to you on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Give us a follow, give us a 5-star rating. Amber, thank you for taking time out of your day to join me to talk about Wednesday on this Wednesday evening.
Thank you. I always love talking to you, my love.
Likewise, likewise. And once again, join us next month as we talk about part 2 of season 2 of Wednesday. We appreciate you being here. So for Amber, I'm Brittany. Thanks for being here once again. Have a great night. We will see y'all next time.